Guys, what are we going to look at this morning? We are going to look at the Hang on. We're going to look at the Kubey Ku322. Man, I hate these companies use these numbers, man. I can't ever keep them straight. Yeah, so that's what we're going to look at. So you guys know what time it is. Turn down the volume because here comes some music. Guys, I hope the audio is better. I stopped using the wireless mic because I just didn't like the way it sounded. It took too much to adjust it. So what I did was I found some people that gave me some little tips, and I found a way to equalize the volume and everything across the entire video. So hopefully it's a little more consistent. So this is the Ku322 that Jared sent me from over at Neve's Knives. And this thing is a big, chunky beast of a knife, but I'm kind of digging it. It really feels good in hand. First day I've carried it, I haven't looked up any specs. I only know what's on the paper and what's on the blade. So we're gonna turn this around. We're gonna take a quick look at it from above. I'll tell you the things that I like about it first blush, and then we'll give it a few days in pocket and see how I like it. I do have to say it cuts really well. I had to cut some cardboard up earlier to put in the recycling bin this morning, and it cuts really well. I think a lot of it has to do with the super aggressive edge that Jared put on this. So yeah, guys, let's turn this around and take a look at it from above. All right, guys, this is the Ku322. Now, this came from Jared. I put this, I'm not gonna lie, it's this morning, it's the day after the live feed. I carried this a good chunk of yesterday. I've been carrying it so far this morning. I did cut up some cardboard with this morning. Jared put a really aggressive edge on this. So let's talk about some of the things that I've noticed basically first day in carry. This is a broad knife, and that's not a bad thing. I'm digging the way it feels in hand. It's really big, but I have recently been carrying a lot of much more slender knives, like something like this. And so transitioning to something a little bit broader, it felt a little odd at first. I don't know if you've ever felt that. Like if you're somebody that, like me, that's into pew-pews a lot, and you go to the range and you've gotten used to a certain one of your pew-pews, and then you grab one of your others out of your case and it just feels a little strange at first. That's kind of where I'm at with this. This does feel really good though while you're using it. It doesn't really have any hot spots. I haven't cut anything really heavy. I just had some you know, priority mailboxes and stuff that needed to go in the trash. So I did use it. I think it needs a little bit of a touch up. There were some hiccups in this. Jared put a really aggressive edge on us. Let's see if I can't just touch that up. The handles are just about the right thickness. Now, I'm not a fan of the pocket clip. I'm gonna tell you already. It's not that it's because it's deep carry. It's because it's deep carry and it's really proud, and it's in a spot where it's just right in my hand. So for me, I think I'm probably going to wind up flipping this and making it left-hand carry so that I can give it a good review. But that really is, you can see right where it's at. It's just pinching right into the material of the hand. It's just right there. And so as I'm using it, I can just feel that pocket clip heavily. So pretty hot spotty right there on that pocket clip. But everything else so far has been good. The action on it's great. You can do the reverse flick with the aperture. Flipper tab is good. It's in a good position. The jimping's not too aggressive. If you guys remember here just a few days ago, we did that Troncodon. The jimping was just horrible on it. It just almost made it unusable. Blade shape's nice. It's nice and broad. It feels though like it's still a little thick behind the edge. On a broad blade like this, that gives you a prime opportunity to transition really thin behind the edge. It could have just been a screaming slicer. But a little bit more thickness behind the edge does give you a little bit more stability if you're one of those guys that does pry on things with your knives, which I'm not one of those guys. The choil is just about perfect. It puts the edge right here out of the broadening area of the plunge, so you're not going to have that smile or that area where your plunge does or your bevel doesn't match. It is in D2 steel. We'll see how it holds up. It does not seem like it's starting to patina, but then again, I have not carried this heavily. I can make D2 rust really badly. I'm famous for anything that will rust. I can make it rust really badly. Something about the way I sweat and the acids and salts in my sweat. It is an attractive, nice knife. The finish on it's really good. I do like this big fuller that comes down. Blade shape is really good on this. It does feel though like it's almost, I know it's straight, but it just kind of feels like it sweeps up a little bit, which isn't horrible. I didn't notice any issues where it was bothering me when I was cutting. Nice big belly. It does cut well, like when you're sweeping through cardboard and stuff like that. So all in all, I mean, it's not an unattractive knife. It's really well made. I like the Kubey aesthetics on their pivot. This might be, it takes up, I'm not gonna lie, it takes up a lot of space in pocket. And I say that, but I don't think it's really that much bigger than the knife I typically carry. I don't know why, it just feels so much broad. I think it's because of this belly being so much wider, but it really isn't taking up any more pocket space than, like, say, my Grimsmo Norseman, which I carry all the time. So yeah, we'll give it a shot. Like I said, I like the action. It does feel good in hand when cutting. If I could just get this, if I could find a pocket clip for this that matched, like if I went through some of my knives and I have one, I may put one of my other pocket clips on just to see how it does with a different pocket clip, because that is, this is what bothers me about the pocket clips. It's almost, it's like adding half of the knife on to it here. It just makes it so much thicker in that one spot. If they transitioned them a little better and made them a little less proud, I think I would like some of these deep carry pocket clips. And the pocket clip has a little bit of a wiggle. Nothing compared to some of the other knives I've seen. But it is a reversible pocket clip, so we may just do that, reverse the pocket clip and see how I like it then, or just take the pocket clip off in its entirety. It does have a lanyard hole, but it's not real well protected. So if you're one of those guys that does a lanyard, that's not going to protect your lanyard real well. And the last thing I want to mention, it is fairly light in the handle. It's got a nice tip forward weight that I kind of like. Because it's been skeletonized really heavily inside on those liners. So yeah, like I said, we'll carry this for a couple weeks, maybe a week. We'll see. Like this knife, I don't think is going to take me a long time to give a yes or no on. It's good. I'm going to complain about the pocket clip, just so you guys know. And the other thing, it's not completely centered. It definitely favors the show scale. So we'll see. Like I might take it apart and see there's a tiny bit of play. I don't think that tightening the pivot is going to rectify that alignment. And with it being a single-sided pivot, it's not like I can tighten it from one side to the other and walk it back over. That's a little trick that you guys can learn. I'm sure Jared's probably already shared everybody. If you have a double-sided pivot, you can kind of tighten one side, loosen the other, and then walk it one direction or the other. It's one of those little tricks. But this one is a single-sided pivot. I mean, it is really close to rubbing. It's not, but it's really close. Like if it was off any further, it would definitely be rubbing. So, but you know, it is a budget knife. I did wind up finding out how much it cost. So I hate when it happens. We were talking with Cole last night on the live feed, and it accidentally slipped how much it cost. I kind of forgot, so I do know it is a very budget-friendly knife. So I'll try and remain unbiased by that. I do like to do it blind, not knowing anything about the knife, especially price point. So it just keeps me honest. But you know, like I said, this didn't come from the company, so I'm not beholden onto anyone to give it a good review or otherwise. So, all right, guys, let's turn this around and do some final thoughts on this KU322.
So like I said, guys, at the tabletop, really broad, and it gives you, at first, you're like, wow, that feels unusual. I think it's just because I've gotten used to carrying some much more slender knives that weren't quite as broad across the scale. So we're going to give it, so I don't like the pocket clip. I can already tell you I don't like the pocket clip, but I'm not going to let that be a showstopper because I can, there's ways around that. So yeah, we'll keep it in pocket, and we'll see how it pans out, and I'll let you guys know here in a week or so. So guys, that's it on this one. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down, but you got to tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as, like I always say, like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. It helps push the channels up the algorithm, channels like mine and Lefty and Jared and Tri-State EC. So yeah, it's a big help to do that. If you do want to support the channel financially, though, there's a handful of ways that I've got listed down in the description below, I have a membership tab. I've got a bunch of different benefits based on tier. Find a tier that meets your wants and what you want to get out of the memberships. And if you're a premium tier member, you have access to everything plus a premium tier sharpening tutorial series. And all members save $5 on my sharpening service. Other ways you can do it, I have a bunch of affiliate links with different companies. It doesn't cost you anything at checkout, but if you purchase something, I get a portion of it at checkout, and it doesn't add to the price of your item. And the final way is I have a merchandise store on Ember Shirt Co. I have set up a coupon code that will save you 10% anywhere on Ember Shirt Co. And that coupon code is CrazySharp, all one word, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, all one word, saves you 10%. And if you send me pictures of you wearing your merch, I will put them in the videos. Guys, that's it. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. It makes it easier for me, Nico, and Matt to moderate the channel. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I will see you in the next video.